Welcome to episode 2, 4th grade writers, Characters in Realistic Fiction. You may recall this slide from Tuesday, where we learned that characters in realistic fiction seem like they could be real people or animals, but they usually aren't. So they're everyday real people like you and I, but they are made up in the imagination of the author. We also know that this means no zombies, no aliens. Good realistic fiction writers develop a character's internal and external traits. The character or characters in a realistic fiction story have been purposefully crafted to help convey the bigger ideas in the story or the lesson in the story. So if you recall our short story you read on Tuesday, we learned from the character Luke that it is important to stay calm in an emergency situation. The author wrote this short story for a reason. The author conveyed the internal and external traits of Luke to us and then put him in a certain situation, event, or problem to help us learn this important message, stay calm in an emergency situation. So when the author sat down to make their realistic fiction story, Trail into Darkness with Luke, they might have done something like this. They may have made a graphic organizer where they thought about, what are the internal traits of my character going to be? AKA, what's the personality of my character? What are they like on the inside? These are really important when it comes to thinking about your character in your story. It's also important to think about the external traits. They're not as important, but what my character looks like on the outside. So the author of Trail into Darkness sat down and got thinking about their character. Luke. He's going to be a younger boy, maybe about 10 years old. He'll be active, but not too athletic. He'll have brown hair. His internal traits. Well, I'm going to make my character like adventure, such as trekking and snowshoeing. That's what they'll be doing in my story. He's going to know a lot about hiking, and he's going to know how to follow trail maps. He also enjoys spending time with his family, but he can get a little worried or anxious at times, right? So now you can see the connection between thinking about the character and the story. My character, Luke, he likes adventure, he likes being with his family, going snowshoeing, but he has a little bit of a problem. He gets a little worried and anxious at times. So that's going to help me to teach the message or the theme to my readers about what to do and how to stay calm in certain situations. By now, you should have already filled out your theme graphic organizer. And now you will move on to your character graphic organizer. You know what you want your message to be. You know what you want your story to be about and what your character is going to teach. What your character is going to teach, meaning the message, the theme, the lesson, okay? So, good writers develop a character's internal and external traits. What's more is that this character has been purposely crafted to help convey the bigger ideas in the story, like we had just discussed. So, thinking about your own story now, we want you to come up with a character in your head. Remember, an everyday person, but use your imagination. You can be inspired from a character in another story, a movie, a relative, a friend. That could be your inspiration, but you want to make up this character completely on your own, with your own imagination. Think about their internal traits. What is their personality like? These are really important to your story because this is going to connect to the theme. Your character and what they're like is going to teach that message. You also want to think about their external traits, what their character looks like on the outside. Now, these are not as important, of course, but they're still important to help you really visualize your character and get a sense of who they are. It will also help your reader to better understand too. So with that said, you can exit out of this video, go back to your Google Docs, find your fiction writing graphic organizer, and please complete the character graphic organizer. We can't wait to see them and learn about the characters in your story.